Hi everyone, and welcome to Silver and Blood. If you guys just bear with me for a quick second while I turn down the ambient music a little bit, just so it's not so loud underneath us. So, welcome to Silver and Blood here on the Zweihander RPG channel. I'm Adam, I'll be your game master. If you're watching this later on YouTube, our episode numbers are a little bit messed up. This is the 4th episode, but I'm not sure what it has us listed as, because in our 2nd episode, we had a lot of Twitch technical malfunctions, and that went kind of crazy. So
this says episode 6.
In defense, Zweihander has been setting this up for me. That might be, I think, what we're at, but it's okay. It's episode 4, but we had some tech issues that split episode 2 into like 3 parts. So yeah, I guess so. Welcome. Oh, and so I've got everything set up here. I have now multiple monitors, multiple computers. My iPad's monitoring the chat, so hopefully it will go just as well as last week. But thank you for coming back. Let's see who we've got in here. I see some familiar favorites.
There's a voice echo on someone.
That was me for a hot second because I think I had that on. Is it good? Voice echo on someone.
Are we doing T-Dorf?
Yeah, T-Dorf's here. He's our outside tech manager here. Testing 1 2 3.
Oh, he's on a player. Yeah, is it me? Because I'm the only one talking.
Do we hear an echo? No, you know what, T-Dorf? I know what it is. I know who it is. No, it's me. It's me. It's me. Hold on, I gotta find something. I'm gonna mute me because it's probably gonna get...
No, he said it's me.
Weird.
You don't have to fight it. Be both of you.
Twitch on? I don't have Twitch on.
I've got my Twitch muted.
Something fixed.
Are we still having? I mean, we'll just chat to
I'm
fill
confused.
the time while we figure it out. If at any time
I'm gonna find my headset. I know what's happening.
Oh, good. No. Oh, T-Dorf says it was you.
Oh, it is Adam. Well,
see. Okay, great, cool. Now we were like, we were so concerned, like, oh no, it's me.
and I was like, I don't know how to fix this. Hi, random number 612. Is this a friend?
Oh.
While you wait, you can post your favorite cheese in the chat.
Yes. Since we have
Man. I love that has been a thing, and I'm trying to work in a casein pun in game. I've done it in a chat, but
In case.
Okay, we should be good now.
like casein point.
Yeah.
All right, are we good? Everyone that's here, are we good? I have myself being monitored way too much here.
How do we sound? Because I'm
Tito.
so good.
Yeah, we always look good, that's for sure.
I'm doing good.
We are so good.
So good.
All right, let's see here. Random numbers giving us
Feeling
lots of
good as
hearts.
hell.
So
Gonna
here.
find some things in here to kill. That'd be good.
Seems fine now. All right, thank you everybody.
Woo!
And if you're watching this on
Thank
YouTube,
you.
I'm sure that was an entirely entertaining part to watch. We like chatting here with our audience on Twitch, so if you ever want to catch us, currently we're on every other Wednesday, not Tuesday, on the Zweihander RPG channel. Come check us out, and then maybe you can watch us make all of our tech issues live and mock us in the moment here. All right.
It's the benefit of being here. If you subscribe to the channel, it's even better.
Okay.
We can do it more.
You get to vlog in real time.
More thing here.
In real time.
While you wait, post your favorite text issue in the chat.
My favorite tech issue.
Nobody said their favorite cheese.
Oh,
Right.
They'll get to
I
it.
quite like
that. That's an important decision. They have to think about it quite a bit.
I like
Right,
the kind that's cheese, generally,
so-
but like a good.
If you're just joining us here and you're watching in episode 4/6, you should go back and watch our previous episodes. Bear with us through episode 2 because it does get choppy. But if you caught up, you will understand the cheese jokes. As a GM, I randomly created this town and decided to give it a little bit extra spice by making it believable. And I said, this town is known for its cheeses. And I brought it up a couple times. Now the game is nothing but cheese puns.
You gave it
Fantasy
flavor.
Wisconsin.
Yep.
I gave it flavor.
It is.
All right.
You grated a little Parmesan onto the,
Yeah, and next thing you know, I'm the guy
Tell
at
me
Olive
when.
Garden.
Tell me when.
Tell me when.
And we're just
and
never.
no
we're
one tells
never
me when
gonna
to stop.
say it.
Never.
No one ever said when.
Keep going.
Exactly. All right, so with that, welcome. So let's go ahead and get down to business. This is Silver and Blood. We're playing the Zweihander RPG kind of system, very grim dark. Silver and Blood is a kind of a setting that I have created. I've written about 50 pages for it, and this is the first time I've kind of really had players in it. I'm having a great time. I hope it's everyone else. We're going to go around, introduce ourselves, say what our favorite part about last game was, and what we're looking forward to this game. I am the Vampire Interpreter. I am the game master and creator of this particular setting, but not obviously Zweihander. I'm not that cool. And if you want to see more of me and some of the other people here, you'll also see us on TTRP Theater and the Vampire Interpret Show, as well as Sinners and Saints and stuff to come up in the future. I'm also on Weave the Tale, doing the Nuwaden Chronicles currently. So if you're liking my stuff, you should come check us and me out there. Let's start with whoever's on this side, and that's Ian. Ian, introduce yourself. Where can we find you? Favorite part about last episode, and what you're looking forward to this episode.
All right. Well, as he said, I'm Ian. So I'm Ian. You can find me. I do have an Instagram. I think mostly it's Genghis Pawn. I think it's up there. I'm mostly going to be posting my adventures in mini painting there. So I do paint some minis every once in a while. I think my favorite part of last game was definitely getting out of the mine just to go back into the mine yet again. Mm-hmm. So maybe this time we'll get it right.
There you go.
Hopefully, God.
Don't hold your breath. But...
And jumping down to Ty. Ty, introduce yourself. Favorite part about last episode and what you're looking forward to this episode.
Hello, I'm Ty. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter under Hey Tyler Gray. I definitely liked the taking a hostage last episode. That was fun. Because it's not a nice man. And I look forward to getting out of this mine. Please.
All right, there we go. You might want to explore the world that I've written about, because believe it or not, I did not write a lot about mines. Let's jump over to Megan. Megan, why don't you introduce yourself, favorite part about last game, and what you're looking forward to this game.
Sweet. Yes, as Adam said, I am Megan. You can find me at Starweaver on Instagram, Twitter, all that jazz. And favorite part about last game was probably a tie between the interaction between Maithriel and Adelaide, where she was trying to calm her down with the song. I thought that was very sweet.
Oh, yeah.
As well as the pocket sand. So
Pocket sand.
Yes. What was
I
pocket
forgot
beans?
about pocket sand. I think it was a corn or something.
Pocket corn. That's what it was.
Pocket corn.
Sha.
I am very excited to get out of this mine, and out of this city, ideally.
Awesome, and last but certainly not least, Caroline, introduce yourself, favorite part about last game, and what you're looking forward to this game.
Hi, I'm Caroline. You can find me pretty much everywhere as Fiery Sunbird. I think one of my favorite moments of last scene was when the moment when it all clicked that we have not left town and that we are underneath the church. Mm-hmm. When it all clicked and it dawned on all of us, I could see the collective horror in our eyes of, oh no. Oh boy, okay, and then it got worse and worse. I am looking forward to seeing how taking that hostage couldn't possibly go wrong, especially because it's the sheriff and now he's seen all of our faces.
Indeed, hoping you can get out of that town and get into the dark and terrible mist that surrounds.
I want to run from the
town.
plot, Adam.
You want to run from?
I'm kidding.
We're gonna run from
You
plot
won't let
into
me.
danger. As we like to here in the Vampire Interpreter stories, make strong narrative decisions. To quote another cast member, no one wrote a story about the Hobbit that stayed home, so we're not gonna do that here. All right, so I'm excited to get going and to even frighten you all more. I literally have no notes in preparation for this session. We're just going to see what I can come up with.
We are truly doing
let's
it
have
live,
some fun.
folks.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
This
You're
is
not-
what you pay for.
Yeah,
You're not
exactly.
supposed to tell us that.
No. See, oh, yeah, this is all
I know,
part
right?
of my plan.
Well,
You guys
I've
were-
got 10 pages of notes, so
You
we're
guys
fine.
were... If everything would have been going in my head, you would have been out of this mine already, but no. You guys just seem to keep
Well,
going. Yeah.
So let's
Just
see
have
how
I'll
a
we
just
do.
tell
large-
my dice.
All right.
I'll just start rolling 11s. We'll
So-
be fine.
If this is your if you don't know too much about Zweihander, I'm hoping you're enjoying our other episodes, learning more. Well, we're going to start out with this episode, just because we do shorter bits. I tend to not do everything that would resolve at the end of a session, between every session. But I feel like we totally have gone through a session's worth of material, and the thing we didn't discuss was chaos and order. So chaos and order, and you don't really want to think of it as good and bad points, but it's kind of good and bad points. At the end of every session, you look at your total corruption points, and you're going to roll a d10. If you roll below your corruption points, that's bad. And that's when you gain a chaos rank. If you roll above, you will gain an order rank. And when you get to 10, I think when you get 10 chaos ranks, that's when it gets really bad. You become a terrible monster. But we're not going to get anywhere near that. Only 2 characters currently have corruption. Those that are currently free of it is Adelaide, because Adelaide is a pilgrim, and pretty much anytime, one of the nice benefits of being you, even though you can't stab or shoot magic, is it's really hard to turn your pure heart evil. And of course, Mathriel, you have yet to suffer corruption, because I think the few times it came up, corruption specifically, you are losing peril. I think it was when you butchered 2 people, but you have an advantage that says you don't get corruption when you murder people. So, that's what you get. So, there we go. We just have the 2 of you. So, we have Lauren and Albrecht. We're going to go ahead and... Do you guys want to roll, or do you want me to?
I want to roll.
Yeah,
All right,
let's
cool.
roll.
So, you guys both are at 4. So, if you roll 4 or lower, we're going to increase your chaos rank. If you don't, we increase your order rank. I guess
Okay.
it would increase the order rank for the 2 of you as well, because it would be impossible for you to roll lower.
On a what die?
D10.
D10.
Just straight up D10. That's what we're doing.
Woo!
I rolled a 6.
I rolled
6.
a 5.
All right. So
Ooh,
that gives you. So you guys, your corruption resets to 0.
Oh, cool.
So I'll probably do it once every couple of games, or every show, or every couple shows, because I feel like that's the equivalent of a quote unquote sitting at, if we all lived in the same place, and you guys came over to my house on a Wednesday night and we played 4 hours.
So being bathed in the next blood fountain and being clocked right in the head by a flying head, it wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't. Okay, I'm going to take another quick status check of everyone else here real fast and see if it matches up with your recollection. Just want to make sure. Ian, or Albrecht, you still have the busted kneecap, I believe was the name of the injury. Was I smart? and
Yeah.
write it down?
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
Yeah. I think, though, other than that, you're still you're tip top, because I didn't take away any. I didn't move you down on the condition track. I just decided when you fell that's what it was going to be. Mathriel, I think you got a little injured last time. Yes, Mathriel, you were moderately impaired and you are moderately injured. No. You're
I think it was
moderately
just
impaired
that.
and lightly injured.
That's right, yeah.
Because you spent a fortune point, and that makes you go up total on the, because you're a pit fighter, and you spent it just before you were about ready to get some peril, so I didn't change anything over here, but I don't think I changed it over here. So Here we go. You know, I'm just going to make a separate column for this one, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Just make a separate column, just so I can see that that's there. And I don't believe anybody else was really hurt. Yeah. All right, so there we are. We're going to go ahead and start with fortune and misfortune points. There are 4 of you. I forget exactly how they start out with fortune and misfortune points, so what I'm just going to have you guys do is you're going to roll a d10. If you get evens, that means it starts as a fortune point. If you get odd, it starts as a misfortune point. So
Even.
So even is a fortune point.
Oh, I got an even.
Gotcha, fortune point. Odd,
I also
misfortune.
got a nod.
That's okay. The way it is
All
that
right.
when I spend misfortune, it becomes fortune. So it's supposed to go back and forth. So starting out, we got 2 for 2. All right. Okay, I think we are buckled up and as ready to go as we're going to be. Thank you for all our viewers for sticking through that little bit of paperwork at the beginning. What always happens, sometimes I like to do it before the show starts, but I also kind of see their shows as like a learning tool. If you're picking up Zweihander and just kind of don't know what to do, what would a game look like, you can watch us kind of go through it as... so a few of us are experienced in the system. I don't think veteran's the appropriate, but you can maybe learn something or two. Or find out where we mess up, and then, maybe you'll know better next time. All right. Where we last left our group of intrepid heroes, for lack of a better term, you guys had gone from the silver mines back into essentially the temple's basement, where they had been cooling and essentially storing food. But the kind of frightening thing, or the realization some of you had that you lived here, is that there's this talk of soon we will have to ration food, but the amount of food that you've seen tells you that we're not quite there yet. So casting a little bit of a dark shadow over the Elder Matthias and his acolytes, which I'm sure there was already many doubts in your mind about what he was saying, given the burnings in the city. However, leading up to that, you guys had what had drawn you that way was voices. You called out to those voices, so they ran and got help. The sheriff and 2 other men came down. You all got into a confrontation, which led to the 2 other men being slaughtered, and you guys drug I believe the unconscious sheriff back into the silver mines, because there's a little crack in the foundation.
Yeah, I did that.
So, where we last left, let's see here. All right, let's go ahead. So, you drag down the mine shaft of the silver mines. You're now probably 50 feet away from the entrance back to the temple. And you are dragging the unconscious, limp form of the sheriff. Mathriel is cut, but not seriously injured. Albrecht is limping, but still, outside of that, seems to be in relatively good... is still active. You guys, I believe when it led to it, you guys may have been down here a day or 2. Lost hopelessly. So now, what do we do?
Well, I think there's been a misunderstanding in the plan. Yes, we seem to be in the mine again.
Yes, but maybe he knows the way out.
Oh, well, then by all means, ask him.
So I'm gonna start trying to wake him up.
You're going to start trying to wake him up. All right, so while you're doing that, my question is then, what is Adelaide and Mathriel doing, as these 2 are attempting to interrogate the hopefully soon conscious sheriff?
Do we have torches?
Yes, yeah. You guys, I'm not too
Okay.
worried about. You guys are running low on torches. You probably got like 1 extra one after this, so that's going to probably start getting worrisome for your characters.
Yeah, a little bit.
Were there any torches in the cellar? By any chance?
Yes.
Oh, I know. I'm sniffing what you're cooking.
Uh, um,
Strong narrative choices.
hey, Lauren.
And she's like slapping. Yeah.
I'm not particularly sneaky, but I kind of feel like we should grab some torches. Do you want to go in there and see if you can get anything?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll hold down the fort.
If nothing else, I can run past anyone who might be in there.
It's only been a few moments. So, the bodies that you left in there are probably still trickling blood.
Yeah. But hopefully there's no one alive in there. The
Indeed.
corpses aren't gonna snitch on me, so.
Guys whose eyes I cut are probably dead at this point.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
So there shouldn't be anybody alive in there.
Yeah.
Not that he wishes he was.
Exactly.
And he can't
Yeah.
talk about it, so.
I would like to, go up to where the entrance is, pause, listen for any movement. If there's none, sneak in, grab torches, sneak out, run back.
Give me, I mean, I'm not sure if it's any different for you. Let me check here. You are right here. Yeah, make a perception check. I'm going to give you a plus 10% because I feel like it's pretty quiet right now.
Okay. Where did I put perception?
It's under the perception skills. So for you, it'd be probably on your second page, about a third of the way down.
Awareness.
Awareness, yes.
Because it's perception skill. So
I'm sorry, did I say
okay.
perception? My bad.
Yeah. So I'm like.
Yeah.
Okay, let me double check. Yes, I just barely pass.
Did you get doubles?
No, I rolled just at my
Cool.
score.
Cool. All right. So yeah, you listen in. There is. I was just gonna see if you like critically failed or
Crit.
something like
No,
that.
I didn't
yeah.
crit.
No, there is. You hear occasional gurgling sounds as the life is slowly leaving one of the men's bodies, but that's about it.
And I'll peek around the corner if there's nobody there, I'm gonna squeeze in, run, grab torches, squeeze, run out, run back.
All right. Yeah, you have one of the torches. Fortunately, no one is coming down there at this time to deal with anything. So, you're scrambling back, not scampering. So, Adelaide, were you doing anything of note?
I mean, there's really not much I can do.
Yeah, I just didn't know if, sometimes, you give people just enough rope to hang themselves. So I was going to see if you were going to do anything with that rope. But I guess not. Oh, well.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. You guys, so, I guess that you guys are trying to wake up the sheriff.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'll
so
hold on to him
here's-
if you want to talk to him.
What did you say, Mathriel?
I'll hold on to him if you want to talk to him.
Okay.
Adelaide.
Well,
Yeah.
Lauren?
So he's awake?
So
No, we're
what I'm
trying
gonna
to wake
do-
him up.
So here's what I'm
Okay.
going to say here. We're going to need a heal check to wake him up because
Okay.
even though, and this is just me being dark and morbid here, even though you didn't technically kill him, you don't know if you did. He just fell lifeless. So we got to try to wake him up. So let's see what the
I
heal
did
check is.
lightly strangle him, so
did.
We're starting to panic just a little bit that he's
Yeah.
not waking up at the slaps to his cheek. Like, oh, shit.
okay.
Yeah, so go ahead, give me a heal check. I think Adelaide has, I think you have the highest heal check. And it's actually literally just a 50-50 because Adelaide is trained at 50%. So let's see if...
This should be Adelaide then.
Yeah, well, I think Adelaide, I think...
So I'm
I
rolling?
think, yes.
Okay.
You are better than everybody else at healing.
I need to get below.
Below a 50, yes.
50 or below.
Okay, cool. 28.
28. Okay, so it says that is true, Tidorf. It's going to be hard for him to talk with a slightly crushed larynx. I like that as a complication either way.
But
Hey, you know what?
he
was
can
just
point and he can walk.
that is true. I'll give you that. So, with a few slaps and shakes, he's bluffing. Just close his eyes, stab him, just to make sure. That's what one of her. There you go. That's how you know if he's not.
No
faking.
coconut, Clifford. No.
Oh yeah.
Step 1, make sure he's dead.
Yeah.
Okay, now what?
Okay.
All right.
So.
So he's gonna.
Hi. I have a lot of words for you right now, but I'm not going to say them. How do we get out?
He's kind of looking around.
You're
like
in the
this.
mines. Under
Okay, thank you.
Untergang.
In the mines under Untergang. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna roll to see if this guy has any idea. All right, here's what I'd like. No, here's. All right, audience. The first person here. First person in the audience to tell me high or low. High is good for the. So whatever they say, that's good for you. So first person in the audience, high or low. If it's whatever they say is good for you. So we're just gonna randomly see if he knows how to get through these abandoned. High.
I
Tidorf
knew it was
says
going to
high.
be Tidor.
Oh, he's ready.
Okay.
That's okay. That's right. So if I roll high on this dice, it is he will know. So I'm gonna take that as 6 and above. Always go high. You know what? You go with Tidorf. I rolled a 10. So there we go.
Woo!
There we go.
Thank
Lucky
God.
break.
Thank you, Tidorf.
First lucky break.
There we go. We just had to kill some people and capture somebody.
That's there you go. That's how you get rid of that dry spell. Just murder people. That gets. So he's gonna.
It's the wheels greased.
Yeah, with blood. Obviously. It's silver and blood, man. Come on.
He starts like pointing a direction, but he's kind of like, kind of like losing consciousness as he's doing.
Adelaide will tap his cheeks. No, you stay awake.
Don't make us give you the breath of life. You're not my type.
He's like he's like reaching around and he looks at Albrecht and he starts like reaching for your belt.
You want to write?
Okay.
Does anybody have
He
paper?
wants to write. Okay.
But he was reaching for the belt. How do you get writing from that?
I mean, I don't know.
And I'm gonna say, so I'm just saying he's the wizard, so he probably has parchment and paper. That's the
Probably.
sheriff's guess at this point in time. Who has paper on them? It's not the murderous elf.
It's very possibly the messenger.
Could be. I don't know you're a messenger though, but this guy's got the
That's
tattoos
true.
and all that crap.
All right.
So-
Well, we'll take. I suppose he thinks he's going to write. Very well. So I pull out some parchment.
All right.
In the midst of Albrecht handing it over, I'm going to say, if you write anything other than a way to get out of here, you're gone.
All right. Let's go ahead. Mathriel, let's give you. Let's see here. I think is intimidation a skill? It sounds like it should be if it's not.
I do have an
It's
intimidation
indeed.
skill, it looks
Yes,
like.
that is a bronze check. So go ahead, give me an intimidation. I'm gonna give you plus 15.
Well, hell yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Oh, I crit failed.
Oh, I love it.
Oh no.
Like, really bad, too.
We're not intimidating at all.
Did you roll a 99 or did you roll a double odd?
It was an 88, but it was real bad. And we
All
only
right.
have fortune points, right?
It's like it.
you
We've
do.
got-
You have 2 if you wanted to
We've got
re-roll
2.
that. Yeah, you get 2. That being
I
said,
do like to
hold on.
imagine that like Mathriel accidentally said half the sentence in
Whenever you
Elvish.
spend a fortune point, though, you move up on the damage and peril condition track.
Do it.
Okay, I'm gonna go for it.
You're gonna go for it. All right. So, after you attempt to be you kind of feel like fate wasn't with you there, and you try your mean mugging again, and you feel better about yourself, your whole situation, and everything right now. So.
I just start to choke on my spit and play it off as like me clearing my throat.
Yeah, exactly. So you are now
There you
no
go.
longer, you are now no longer injured, and you are only imperiled. So you're just down one step on the, you know.
Okay. Sweet. And you said I got a plus 15%?
Yeah, that should put you
Okay.
at 65.
Sweet. All right, and I rolled a 58 because I get to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
it's
time,
beneath it.
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So there you go. All right. So he nods and he's kind of looking like after a few moments as he starts to catch his breath. He has a raspy voice, but he starts to become more there. So then he'll start. He'll gesture. Who has the torch? There you go. So he'll gesture for Adelaide to lean in so that he can draw a little better. So he draws a map, and it's a relatively crude map. But that being said, it is going to be helpful, assuming it's the truth. Does anyone want to see? Let me see. Is that a?
Yeah. I want to see if it seems like he's lying.
Yeah,
Right?
that would be a. That's gonna be a scrutinize check, and I think the highest scrutinize of the group.
Nice. I
Don't
mean,
think for that.
I roll at a 49. It's not bad.
Oh, mine's
You are the
39.
best, Lauren. You
All
are the best at
right.
That being said, someone can help you, and they can roll a separate die, and you can replace it as your tens place. Is anybody helping?
I'll help.
All right, so
Yeah.
you're rolling. Whoever's helping is rolling one die.
What'd you roll?
9.
That's okay. I didn't need it. I rolled a 48.
Well, sometimes,
Ooh.
yeah.
I am
right.
squeaking by. These
There you
dice
go.
barely like
So,
me.
yeah, he actually seems to be telling the truth. Like,
Nice.
his friends are murdered, and it's kind of like if you guys are out of town, you're not his problem anymore.
Very true.
Good.
And also, from his perspective, you're wandering out of town into the mist. Go and die. I don't care. Like, you know.
Good.
So
Lauren,
yeah.
Lauren, does he speak all right, truthfully?
He believes he does. And I think we should reward him. By which I mean
He
leave
gets
him
to
back
live.
by the... He gets to live back at that entrance to the basement.
Who's to say he's not going to get anyone to follow us?
Into the mist?
I mean, to the end of the tunnel.
Well,
Mm.
Can we
I
tell
look down
from
at
the
him
map?
and I look back at
Yeah.
Adelaide. I really don't think he'll be able to tell anyone that would get there faster than we would.
Tie him up and gag him at the entrance. They'll find him in the basement eventually.
He's barely awake as it is. We can just leave him there.
I
Very
like
well.
extra safety.
You know, it may sound a little bit messed up, but it seems like this town is pretty keen on taking people they deem bad and pitting them against other things to get their welfare back. Who's to say he shouldn't fight his way out of the mist?
I don't want to take him with us.
I mean, his legs aren't broken.
Yes, but mine is.
That's a good point.
That might be a bit too cruel.
Let's leave him here.
I prefer not to fight an enemy a second time if I don't have to.
We don't know what's in the mist.
Though I appreciate your spirit.
Leave him here.
Yeah. Might as well. If we
In
don't come
light
back
of-
to town and nobody's planning on going out into the mist, then problem solved.
then I turn to him, I turn to the sheriff and I say, "May the light of Luminoid guide your life." And I'm gonna turn and I'm gonna start a walking. We've decided we're leaving. We're leaving.
So
Clearly.
based upon these primitive scrawlings, how much of a head start can we get to get out of the mine?
Well, okay, so here's the thing. The drawings do their best. Like, this isn't like a to scale map.
Oh, no,
Like,
I didn't figure.
yeah, so you don't necessarily know. That being said, since you seem to not be killing the sheriff, if you do ask him, he tells you that when he was a child, they would play down here. So they would do this during the day. Like, this was a day's activity for them. So if you hoof it as fast as you possibly can, that being said, with you guys being, particularly with Albrecht being kind of crippled, it might be a little slower. So it depends on how quickly they start coming after you.
Well, let's just go as fast as we can.
So.
There we go.
All right. So now here's what we're gonna do. Actually, I'm not gonna. We're gonna skip the navigation check because now you have a map.
Thank you.
Since that hasn't
We
seemed to
had
go so.
we had uphill this time.
Yeah. There you go.
We didn't think about that before.
Yeah. So you guys will start the trek. Yes. The trek isn't particularly long, especially, I should say, to you guys who have been down here for some time now. It feels almost with great alacrity that you get here. You eventually will see light, and not very bright light, but you will see a light at the end of the tunnel. That will invigorate all of you probably to move a little quicker now that the end is near per se. And as you get near the mouth of this mine, you will begin to... You don't see too far as you see the oppressive fog of the mist. Now, the mist itself is a frightening place to be. It seems to... It's... To describe it to us is like, or those that have seen other media, it's in and of itself, it's not, it doesn't like really warp space and time, like directly, but it feels like it sometimes. The things that are in here, people get lost. There are sometimes stories of dark and terrible monsters in there, but for the most part, it just seems to turn animals very savage, and there are just stranger creatures, but things that you could encounter on the road. They just seem to happen with more alarming frequency, as if the mist turns people to encounter these things. But you have a mistwalker amongst you. So, you guys are at the mouth of the mine, looking out at what seems to be this unending mist. So what do we want to do?
Adelaide, what do you see?
Adelaide just stands like kind of near the like edge of the mist and is staring out like hesitantly. This is all very overwhelming. There's a lot of sights and colors and what time of day is it?
I don't know. It feels like, I should say to everyone else, it feels like it could be anywhere from like 10 o'clock in the morning to like, 4 o'clock at night. Like the sun, it feels like it's higher in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
It's daylight.
Yeah, it is
Right.
daylight.
Well, then
solidly
especially that there's a lot more light than she's encountered in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little overwhelming. What do I see?
Well, so
Should I roll?
At first, when you, well, I should say for you, because you are a Mistwalker, you will see this differently than they do. Now, at first, you see the mist as kind of the audience and everyone would see. Just this oppressive grayness. But your character gets bolder for a moment and like steps into it, and then in that way, the mist is still there, but everything beyond, like all the obstructions, things that they cannot see, I just almost feel like a video game kind of thing. You can see the outline of everything. Essentially, as far as you could normally see, perhaps even clearer for those that were normally sighted. And there is no, for you mechanically, the mist is not there. And whenever I roll to see if you randomly run into something, you will get to pick a better result.
Nice. I love that. Cool. So,
but where are we going? I guess is the next question.
Well, I was answering the question. Hold on. Albrecht asked me a question.
Adam's so excited.
So she steps forward, like, further into it, and not enough that she disappears, just enough that she can look into it, and it's just like, I see everything. Nothing. It's as if the mist isn't here.
Fascinating.
I don't, should I be looking for a certain way to go?
I mean,
at this point, you have to trust the gifts you've been given.
probably a path or something.
Okay, I'll look for a road.
Okay, so there is a road. Now you're going to go ahead and have you, because this is a silver mine, and so yeah, because it's a silver mine, you're going to have to make a navigation check. There are older markers, so I'm going to give you a plus 15 on your navigation check. So put you at 65. Let me check whatever down for the Mistwalker. Your site is never secured by mist fog. You may spend a fortune point to mitigate the dangers found in the mist.
Okay, I rolled a 17.
Well, okay, that's you do you succeed, because in this system it doesn't matter how low you roll. It's if you roll lower and you have doubles. So there is a overgrown path that will lead, but you were smart enough to know that leads back to town, because this was the silver mine for the town that had dried up, many years ago. So no one uses it. But that will also tell you that, okay, well, the town itself is south of here. And if you explain that out loud, definitely Lauren will say north is preferable, because north is probably where, because you are a messenger on behalf of some of the armies, Lauren. So meeting up
North
with
is
armed
definitely
people
better.
on your... Yeah. That being said, you go further south, it gets colder. But Mathriel will know that terrain much better, because that is where her people is from.
It's kind of funny to think that Lauren probably ran right past this mine as they were moving it into town.
Most likely.
So the road leads into town. Does the road just so this is the entrance of the mine, does the road just immediately go into town, or does it pass
I think
Or
it just
another way-
heads back to town.
Yeah, in my
okay.
mind's eye, is that it will bend around and go kind of up this hill.
Okay, so we gotta go around the hill north.
As I can see the
If we
dog shadow.
We're
behind
gonna
you.
go north. I was just there's no
yeah.
trail, I guess.
So-
we're just gonna go north.
Yeah.
Know of a town that's north of here? Roughly?
Ooh, I like that. That's a good question. No. That's I feel.
I
like
may have
know
passed
if I
one, in
would.
fact.
I feel like that's a folklore check.
Lauren thinks.
Of
Yeah,
course we
folklore
I feel like
check.
know.
Lauren would know more than anybody.
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere.
That being
Something,
said, Albrecht is the most well-read of the group, so you might know the maps a little better. But that being said, I do feel like I would give Lauren a bonus because that her job is to run around and deliver messages
okay.
between armies. So
I would
either
like to
or.
also roll.
Or you can just roll to assist Ian.
I'll roll to assist.
There you go.
What am I rolling against?
You're
Navigation?
rolling a folklore check.
Folklore. Okay.
Yeah, because I don't think education is.
Ooh, I rolled a 2.
Well, there's education, but folklore's good because the town. Have you heard of a town?
I rolled a 7.
Well, you got to roll a 7%.
What, you rolled an aught 7?
Yes.
Oh,
well
okay,
then.
There you go.
All right, great. You didn't need my help.
That's pretty
You've
good.
been there.
We're rolling
Something.
good tonight, boys.
Dang!
So, now I'm sitting here trying to come up with...
Now unbreak my leg.
We'll find somebody there to fix
The
you.
town is definitely not named Caseburg.
It's going to be Rotsburg is going to be the name of it. It's named
Rotsburg.
after that because it has a red keep.
Oh.
Oh, even better.
I was like,
We-
because of the
We
dog?
go to Blood City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
We leave
comforting.
Doomtown for Blood City.
Yeah.
I'll take a blood.
Okay.
That works.
All right, so north we go.
All right. So let me see here. We're gonna do another random roll, but I saw another gentleman after Tiorf said low, so low's good for you. Low's good for you. Well, all right, we should take audience requests more often. I rolled a 1. So the Mistwalker, it seems all of your bad luck was eaten up those 2 days in the mine. As in, there is not much of a problem navigating, other than the natural troubles of doing the terrain.
Like that long pause.
Oh no, I'm thinking
Very
of something.
pregnant pause.
I'm thinking, yeah, I was like I said, my notes for this were all of nothing, but I have come up with a fun idea. It's because you don't get out of it in a day, of course not. You guys actually, no.
Oh no.
Yes,
Oh
so
my god.
Oh no.
you guys do several hours later. The sun hasn't yet to set. It's late afternoon. You will come free of the mist. Now, your trip through the mist is not particularly comfortable, but kind of the idea. What normally is the frightening thing in the mist for everyone is you have no idea where you're going, but that has been completely negated by the Mistwalker, who has led you out of the mist. So we don't have to worry about any mental peril or stress because you are able to just kind of go through there.
I do have a question though.
Yes.
Not for Adelaide because she can see, but for everybody else. Do they are they basically like blindly walking and just listening to like, all right, keep going straight?
Yeah,
we have to,
well, yeah.
that's
Or
a
do
good
they
point.
see like kind of like shadows? If we stay huddled, they can see us well enough, so they just
Yeah,
follow me.
Yeah, indeed, there's enough, because what Mistwalkers do is they'll actually like lead small caravans through the mist, especially decades ago where the mist was more prevalent. Now that the mist is really pulling back, Mistwalkers aren't as... they're still prized and utilized because you don't know when the mist might roll in, but with the very rare or haunted places, the mist it's a weather problem. It's a supernatural, creepy, terrifying weather problem. But there are things you can do to mitigate it. It doesn't really roll into towns, which is the creepy part, too often anymore. So where there's a lot of people, it tends to kind of avoid its in between then, and it's what separated the nation.
I always
Gotcha.
imagined it as like really heavy, like pea soup London smog. Like you can see outlines of stuff, but like you vaguely, like if there was a building, you might see the building, but you might only see it when you're 3 feet ahead of it and you're at a full tilt run and you're gonna break your nose on it. Like
Yeah.
that's what's so exciting about running through the mist is that you never know when you're gonna find a tree
Exactly. And
or a ravine.
Yeah, and that's that, and also feral wolves. I mean, obviously wolves are, but ravenous wolves, kind of
Feral
things like
dogs.
That. Yeah, feral dogs. But you do break free of the mist, and in that moment, as you guys can feel, because it's the sun, just feels, just. So it feels, you feel this, like the sun in itself like almost washes away the fear that you had while inside the mist. You find yourself in the, I guess would be the midland part of Sibarok, which is about kind of where you expect to be, Lauren. Like, okay, like this, you would need better markers for you. Like, okay, all right, yes, I'm not somewhere completely different.
I need a town sign that says you are X miles from this city.
Yeah. That being said, you quickly do pick up the smell of fire. Smoldering fire.
Like in a fireplace or like a fire pit,
No,
or is
like,
this like a
something
house
is
fire?
on fire. It could be a house fire. And this isn't exactly an open clearing. You guys still had to get through the woods. But you smell a something burning off to the east. Yes, the east.
Do we see like clouds, like smoke clouds?
Yeah. Plume
So
smoke.
once you guys look for it, takes you no time at all. You do see, it's not too terribly far off. Like, it would, if you guys like did a sprint, you would be there in quote unquote no time.
Well, do we
I'm
go
not-
for
I'm
the
not
fire
sprinting.
or away from it?
Yeah,
could
there's no
help.
sprinting for Albert.
And not for Albrecht. I could get there.
Is that
Have a
the town?
look.
Let's have a look. Something's definitely on fire.
Isn't it weird that a random fire started in the town we were just at, and now we're going to
Man,
a place with fire?
this last whole week has been weird.
Fair
I
enough.
got chased by wolves, and the entire company of messengers I was traveling with all got eaten. And then I spent at least a day in a mine, an abandoned mine.
Well, I mean, try being
I met an
blind
elf.
most of your life and then suddenly not.
That is a lot
I'm
weirder.
starting to believe your companions were the lucky ones.
I mean, now that you say it out loud, it kind of sounds like you guys got the short end of the stick, and I made out pretty good here.
I mean, if you enjoyed the fighting in a cell.
Oh no, I'm saying I'm glad that I'm out now, and it just seems like your lives have gotten worse and my life has gotten better.
Yes, that is accurate. Let's go towards the fire, because we might help.
Yeah,
Or maybe we'll, I don't know, be helped.
fair enough.
As we've
After-
been sitting here discussing it.
As you get closer, you will see it is a small. It was a small caravan. Some of the wagons are on fire, and there are a few bodies strewn about, as well as there are still men moving about, armed.
Do they
What
look
kind of?
like they started the fire, or
Yeah, so these the perpetrators or the investigators.
Yeah, what kind of men?
I mean, they look like men at arms, but it's kind of hard to tell. Like, this clearly looks like this. There was clearly a struggle and a fight here. You're not sure if they've caused it or not, unless you get closer to investigate. Because you can see them moving as you guys get closer, because you no longer have to worry about the mist. You've left the mist far back there. You can still see the outline of it off in the horizon. Or not necessarily in the horizon, deeper into the
Look
woods.
very a little suspicious. I'm going to cover myself.
If I can't
will
see
wait.
them, they can't see me.
Well, I mean, they might be. Who knows how they
Yeah,
feel
exactly.
about Walkers.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, hello, invisible game master. I almost got burned in the stake because my eyes went weird. Like, all right, I will approach. I guess.
I will stay
I'm
at a
curious.
distance.
Yep.
I'm gonna stay away.
Mathriel, what are you doing?
Are you trying to be stealthy, Lauren, or do you need backup?
No, I don't look that. Oh, I don't look like I'm going that stealthy. Like, worst case scenario, I can run off.
No. If you're not going stealthy, I'll be your brawn.
Okay.
As you approach, you will start to see, you will see a few corpses on the ground, freshly made. The world of Sibarak and Silver and Blood knows no limit to age. There are young children that seem to have been slaughtered, as well as men, women. Some of them are armed. There's probably a total of what you can see about 8 dead. As you get closer, the few men-at-arms they'll hold their weapon up to you, but the moment they get a quick look at you, relax, look at Mathriel, get only slightly more tense, but not as tense as they were when they first saw you. Like, oh, what was that? Oh, it's you. It's fine. Okay, you're with an Elvi. I'm not sure.
You've got it.
So,
We're not here to cause any trouble. We just smelled the smoke and wanted to make sure everything's okay.
orcs attacked. Small raiding party.
It's a shame.
So now everyone's gonna need to make a folklore check. Mathriel, you get a +10.
14.
14. All right, yes.
Ugh, 87.
Okay.
I act sympathetic.
I know
I have
the-
no clue.
I know the lore of the folks.
All right, so who passed? We got Albrick. Seems
Got a
Adelaide,
49.
you passed. All right, there we go. And what about Mathriel?
Barely.
I passed. I got a 45.
Okay. Well, so orcs in my setting, orcs, they were less of a problem many years ago when the Imperium Magnum reigned, and they had an entire legion entirely. Its whole point was to exterminate orcs. Orcism is a disease, and if you catch orcism, you slowly turn into an orc. And the creepiest thing about this is that if you do successfully transform into an orc, you develop a completely different personality. For example, you could have been the most genteel barmaid ever, and then if you transform into an orc, you could be this, masterful tactician. So whoever you were previously, now there's stages of orc sickness, but the big thing is being bitten, clawed, or if you are stabbed by certain orcish weapons, you could get infected. So sometimes orcs raid to kill, and sometimes they do to recruit.
Was it only if they remain living afterwards?
Yes, yeah. Dead people don't come back as orcs. Now, you could be grievously wounded and live and then turn into an orc, because you will get better from their stab wounds. I mean, like I said, if you get cut and it's a really bad cut, the infection you don't worry about is gangrene. You worry about orcism. Mm-hmm. Or the orc sickness, as it's called.
Yeah.
Were you there for the attack?
Oh, it was just a few hours ago. We're making sure there are no others. We're going to burn the dead. And it's also, too, so this would be more of an education and probably more Ian's purview. Burning the bodies isn't necessary, but everyone is afraid. No one, if you weren't really studied in it, the superstition runs rampant. Especially, just now that the kingdom's just becoming unified again. If you were separated for generations, everyone's got their old wives' tales. But yeah, burning the bodies doesn't necessarily help. But, you know.
I'm terribly superstitious.
Well, so how close are you, Ian? Are you close enough to really engage in the conversation?
I can probably hear the conversation, but I'm actually.
So you're muttering to Adelaide, like,
Yeah. But exactly.
man,
No,
these are
it's
weirdos.
Yeah, we're just watching, like, okay.
Out of the dumb and into the dumber. I'm just muttering to myself. Pretty much, yeah.
Adelaide enjoys
Grumpy
it.
mumble. Have there been any orc attacks lately?
They become bolder and bolder, but this was not. There was only maybe a few. With the
Well, at least
war,
that's something.
with the war happening, not many of the men at arms or the Baron's men would keep them at bay, but there's only so much that we are done. And he kind of sets his sword down a little bit more, like, in the ground, less hostilely. Folk like this pay for strong men like us to help them, but there's only so much we can do.
You were their guards.
Yeah. Now there's a few amongst the living too. Like there's a few of the not strong men too. Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll hear a cry from further out, like, "Here! We got one alive!" So with that, the man you're talking to will look at you, and then we'll start walking towards the one who called out to him.
Adelaide will, like, join now. But
Yeah,
still
I'm
keep,
going to turn to Maithriel and the rest of the group, like, well, yeah.
All right, so you guys, it's a quick little jaunt because this is all kind of in the same like area where this melee took place. There is a man just starting to get out of his younger years. Probably just got a little bit of salt and pepper in his hair. Still a great deal of life left in him, especially if he lives in an area that has good apothecaries and things of that nature. He has a very deep cut to his side, but they seem to have staunched the bleeding a little bit. So now there is, like, I see him kind of leaned up against a tree. There's, he's holding the bandage. There's another gentleman next to him, and you guys approach ahead.
What was he hurt with?
Felix, the man that greeted you. We're gonna give him a name. Right here.
His name is not going to be Bill Bob.
No. Gotcha. I'm just writing names here. All right.
I'm much better at picking names that people are not named.
Yeah, exactly. So the Rolf is his name. That's the guy who greeted you. Rolf will go, "Felix, you're a goddamn lucky man to be alive." Yeah, thanks. Doesn't feel too lucky. And then someone asked a question.
What was he stabbed with? Or, like,
One of the orcs.
how was he injured?
They stabbed me. The gentleman sitting next to him kind of looks up to Rolf like, "What do we do?" Mm-hmm.
Can you tell if he is progressing through the orc disease?
Yes. So what will happen is you don't immediately know if someone is infected. Like, it's not like he's not going to turn into, it's not like in the zombie movies where he's turn into an orc in the next 30 minutes. It will take a couple of days. And the first thing is that his wound will have a sickly green appearance. But after a short time, that will disappear. And then, so the stages of orc sickness, and this is probably very well known to you, Ian, because you're the kind of the educated one. There are several stages. There's stage 1. Stage 2 is that infected person can spread it to other people much easily. It can be essentially given through bodily fluids, blood, saliva, sex, and there is this compulsive drive. It's like their mind makes them hide it, and then once they get to the other progressive, or that's stage 1 where they kind of hide it. They become paranoid. They instinctively hide their wound. Stage 2 is where they're very infectious, and then they will begin to pass it to people intentionally. Like they will spit in your drink and things like that. So that's how entire towns get turned into orcs. Is that once it gets to stage 2, because then the people that are infected that way, they don't have a green wound. Because if you're not stabbed, then it just spreads unknown amongst the populace. And then soon after that, now there's a couple of days after that, they turn into orcs. And then that's real easy to know. But by then, who knows how many people have been infected?
Yikes.
And things like that. So, yeah. But when he's first stabbed, you don't necessarily know. Not everyone who gets stabbed gets the sickness. Because then orcs would just show up and scratch everybody and run away.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well. Do we have a healer in town? A chirurgeon that can see to the wound?
There's Rothsburg's. Another day's travel north.
A day. Oh.
So you'll probably know by then.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
We'll keep an eye on the wound. Or you'll keep an eye on the wound.
Well, Rolf will go, are you traveling with anyone?
Just these other 3 people and I. We're headed to Rothsburg.
He looks over at Mathriel. Well, if what they say about her people are true, she's probably good with that sword. And you seem to have...
Yeah.
What do you say we, travel together? I, hate to say it, but we have a spare wagon now, he says kind of somberly. What do you say we, take care of the dead? Sven, why don't you get Felix and anyone else that's wounded, get them up in the first cart. He looks at your leg. Why don't you go with him, keep an eye on it, and he turns to and we're gonna say he's got at least one other guy with him. He's like, let's stack them and burn them.
Adelaide will go to give a prayer.
So there we. I think a good. No, I like that. So
yes.
As the
I'll help stack the bodies.
Yeah, as the sun is going down and they're stacking the bodies, I like the idea of the scene fading to black of Adelaide praying to Luminoy and the Silver Wolf to guide them to Chaldeum, where the afterlife is. And with that, that's where we're going to take a short break, everybody. The Seven Svens, yeah. So we'll go ahead and take a quick short break. I will be back in like 10 minutes to finish up the episode. So I hope everyone is having a good time. And like I said, we'll take a short break and see you soon. Take care, everybody.
We made it out of town! Yes!
Maybe that was the mines.
Hi everyone, welcome back. After that break, we just got a little bit more to finish up this episode, so thank you for sticking with us. I am going to unmute you guys, because they can't hear you yet. If I hit the button right, there we go. Okay. Alright, there we go. They should be able to hear you. All the levels look good. So,
Hello.
we'll fast forward, because like I said, I love that image of like bodies being stacked as Adelaide prays over them. We will then find ourselves at the campsite later that night, where we have a few of the other survivors gathering around the fire. So is Felix. Here's what I need. I feel like regardless of the education or otherwise, because the scholarly work isn't complete on this, on whether or not like trying to clean or disinfect the wound actually helps.
There haven't been a lot of case studies yet.
Yeah,
Case.
So that being said, it's also good to keep looking at the wound. So does anyone want to maybe change the dressing around Felix's wounds? All right, there we go. Adelaide, why don't you give me a heal check? It's gonna be normal. I'm not gonna part of me wants, I'm gonna give you a bonus, but then give you a negative. So I think it's just gonna kind of end up just being the same thing. Well, Adelaide announces that result, what is everyone else doing? So we're around the campfire, everyone's eating food, everyone's probably a little somber, but a few of the people are trying to, talk and keep everyone's spirits up. So, Mathriel, what are you doing?
Mathriel would definitely be keeping to herself, actually. Like, if there's a cart that she can just kind of sit on away from everybody else, kind of brooding over being around so many humans. And then definitely keeping, like, a trained eye on the guy who got stabbed.
Gotcha.
He does not trust that.
All right. Then we'll go to you, Albrecht. What are you doing?
Well, I've spent a lot of time in the cart, Felix. So I'm asking him a lot of questions, just kind of staring at him. Felix, how do you feel now?
It's been 5 minutes and I still
Are
feel
there any
stabbed.
changes? Has the wound taken on a tinge? Do you feel anything? Do you feel anything new?
Gotcha. All right, I like that.
Yeah, I feel stabbed.
And then to you, Lauren, what do you do?
I think I'm gonna keep on that bardic train that I decided on last episode, and once, while the food is cooking, and just to help, if there are any, like, children, to help, but mostly just to help spirits start, like, a simple, like a simple campfire song that I probably sang more than enough times on the front. Something that's family friendly.
Gotcha. A family friendly.
C-A-M-P-F-I-R-E. S-O-N-G song. C-A-M-P-F-I-R-E. S-O-N-G song.
Alright, I'm checking things here. Alright.
That one was really pulled from the back of my brain. I haven't sung that song in like 10 years.
The second you said
so
that is...
So Adelaide, what was your result on your heal check?
Well, it was
66.
610.
It was 610? That you said?
That's a 16.
So 16
Wait.
then. So is it
Why?
a 6-0 or is one of them a 10 and then a 6?
No, one's a 10. It's just one is a 6 and one is a 10.
So it has a
that's
1 and a
16.
0? Or is it a 0?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
Okay,
Because
so
the one that is 1-0, that's
Uh-huh.
like that's the one in your tens place.
yeah, so my question
that's a
for you
10
is,
plus.
does your dice have, see mine only has 1 digit, and when I get to the 10, it's a 0. Does yours
It's a
say
10.
like,
It is a 1 0. It is
does
a
it,
10.
does
Yeah,
8
so that's
say
the
80?
percentile.
Does 8 say, well, hold on, does 8 say 80 or does 8 say 8?
It's online, so it says 8 when it rolls an 8.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
So-
then, so it's a 0. 60 is what it means. So the reason why we're
Okay, well,
asking you
then
these
I thought-
questions, the reason why we're asking you these questions is, there are specific D10s that are made to be the 10 dice, and
Yeah,
it doesn't
like-
say 0. They typically don't say 10. Yeah, they'll do like that. So we didn't know if you were doing that, in
Yeah.
which case we were like, hey, that's always
Yeah, if
the
it's-
10's place. Some
Yeah, if it's like if the
vampire dice-
percentile.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
specific vampire dice do actually print the whole 10, but
Yeah.
some don't. So, okay.
Even my normal dice say 10, like my D&D dice.
Oh.
Yeah, there's, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, it's not. Yeah,
You can
all
also roll a
you kids and your
D100
newfangled
to of
two
you can all yeah.
digits.
You can
Back
roll a
when I was a
D100,
kid. Anyway.
so you don't have to decide which of the D10s
That's fine, that's
is
fine.
a.
It's
but
working
yeah.
for her. It was we were
Okay.
the ones making the error.
I was
She-
trying to argue that it was a 16 instead of
No,
a
I
60.
got you. I was like, oh wait a minute. So
Can-
it's a
can it-
60.
can it be a
so,
16?
You're doing your best to clean the wound, but there's only so much you got. You know, so you're
Yeah.
boiling the water, rinsing it out.
But not with boiling water. Boiled
Yeah, you know, yeah.
water.
There you go. It's cauterized. There you go.
You'll never
can't
be a
coming
problem
at work
again.
if you die of shock first.
Oh.
All right. So as you guys are sitting there chatting with him, Rolf and Sven are they're at the other end of the fire. They're kind of watching, not overly paranoid, but they're kind of keeping an eye on Felix. They don't have like their knives ready. It's not like they're ready to shank him yet, but they seem to kind of being like, okay, you know, what's going on over there? They're talking amongst themselves. Ooh, here we go. Perfect idea. Perfect. I love it. So, Rolf will look over to Mathriel, and he'll get up from the fire and walk over.
What?
I don't normally see your kind this far north.
And?
Never got to talk to one of you from the Finster Forest. He says, kind of getting up on his tippy toes a little bit to look at your horns.
Sort of tilt my head up.
The northern ones don't have the horns, or do you know why your people have horns?
Do I know why?
Oh no, everyone's got legends. He says, legends used to say that the elves used to run this land before they hid behind the wall. So when he makes reference to the wall, to the east, far to the east, there is literally the Great Wall of the Elvi, and it literally stretches into the sky. No one can see the top of it, and it goes for as far as the eye can see. As far as you know in Silver Rock, that wall goes on forever. Because through the oceans and behind it live the Patronus Elvi. And the high elves, the noble elves. So he's kind of recounting that, you know. But your people, this used to be your land before they hightailed it and went on the other side of the wall and left you here. I mean, I've never seen any of them. I didn't know why they have horns and you don't. I didn't know if there was a story for that.
When that happened, there were a lot of humans just like you. who were curious as to, you know, what was going on, why they were hiding behind the walls. And the Valley Elvi got so frustrated and so done with all of these humans constantly just asking all of these questions that a demon was summoned and granted them the powers to silence the humans who were just continuously pestering them with questions. And that's how we got the horns.
All right, I love it. I'm gonna give you a +20 to your intimidate check. I love it. I love it.
Oh my god!
You're over here telling
Hey, what's in the
campfire
jar?
stories.
What's in the jar? The ashes of those who ask. Okay.
Ooh, nice. You say a +10 to it?
20. I love that story. It's good.
Where is my intimidate? It's in
Oh,
Next.
The brawn.
I rolled a 66 also.
Ooh,
But is that a pass or a fail?
That is a pass. So, because
Yes!
your intimidate is normally 50, I gave you +20, 70. So you pass, you critically succeed. I
Hell
love
yeah.
it. So he's like, all right, okay. So I was gonna make you make this roll, but we're gonna skip it. So he's like, hey, you know, he holds up and he's got like some arm guards, and you can see the tinge of a green wound just above his arm guards. Okay, all right, I'll leave you alone. And he starts to walk back to his friend.
Has he been interacting with oh Lord, has he been interacting with everybody's food? Emma?
It's probably not, because the food's in the pot right now. It's possible. I should say it is possible that he could have gotten hold of somebody's stuff. You weren't watching him like a hawk before.
Yeah.
Now you are. But most of everybody's food's kind of, you know, I see everyone's cooking a stew. You know, he's gonna have some potatoes and rabbit.
And you said there are other guards, right? It's not just
Yeah,
him?
there's like 3 men at arms. I think I might have said before, a half dozen people. I forget. As I said, I'm making this up as I go. So there is Rolf, Sven, and another guy. That's the men at arms.
Also,
There's
not
Felix
Sven.
and 2 others, and there's 2 others that are not of the martial capacity. You know, just say farmers, shopkeepers.
We'll call one of them Joffrey.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
Lauren's
Joffrey.
sitting at the fire right now, right?
What'd you say?
Lauren's sitting at the fire right now?
Yeah, I'm probably helping as much as
And I
a
remember,
stew
I
needs
think
help.
I think Albrecht is near Felix, who is near. I think everyone's near the fire, because everyone's looking at Felix like, "Are you gonna turn into an orc? Are you gonna turn into an orc?"
I'm gonna try and get Lauren's attention. I'll kind of in that low-key yelling, but also not wanting to alert too many people.
Lauren!
Lauren.
Hey, round ear. I mean,
Yeah.
Lauren.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, they're
No.
helping.
Yeah, I'll notice and I'll stand up and walk over. Yeah.
And I will very quietly say, Flint is the name, right?
No,
Rolf?
that's Rolf.
Rolf.
Felix is the guy who was stabbed.
Felix is the guy who was stabbed. Rolf is the.
Rolf was the yeah.
Rolf has a green wound.
With my failed knowledge about orcs check, does that mean anything to me at all?
Yeah, like I think the fact that you've been traveling for a couple hours and everyone's watching Felix, like, you caught on that this is bad.
Yeah.
You know about orcs, you just didn't know the details. Like because you failed, you might have believed anybody that got stabbed by an orc turns into an orc. Or when they died and came back from the dead, that's how you turn into an orc. You know, you just.
Okay, yeah. So Lauren just kind of goes, "Where? What?"
I saw it when he was backing away from me.
Like on his arm, on his. I did see that. Was he bothering you?
Yeah.
Well, he is now. Like, that was before I knew
Wow.
he was an orc.
And now even more so. It's just like it's 2 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on his arm. I don't know how long he's been injured.
I mean, if it's still green, that's something, right? You know what? I'm gonna tell Albrecht and Adelaide. I'll be honest, I don't know much about this. It wasn't really my field of study, but
I'm a messenger because I run good, not because I know a lot.
yeah, I'm a messenger because I remember what people say and I run good. But she says, "Is it? It's green, so does he have long? Do you know? I don't know how long it takes.
You know what?
Like out of character, I remember, but
You know, while you guys do that, I'm gonna like look it up in my notes because, like I said at the beginning of the game, I have like 50 pages on this thing. So maybe I should, you know.
does he have very long? Should we be worried? Do we need to start? I don't know,
So he for
scanning
sure
him?
has a day or two, for sure.
Okay.
I'll have to double check exactly the incubation period. That being, well, I'll let you guys role play that while I check that out.
He should have some time left. If the wound happened during that fight, he did say it was a few. When we met him, he said it was a few hours ago. So
Well,
he should
keep him
be
away from them.
But I mean, if I remember correctly, there's no way to like fix that, right? Other than killing them.
It is that is the general consensus. Now that being
We don't
said,
have penicillin for orcism.
there was a group called the Order of Panacea that kind of dealt with them, but that was when the Imperium ruled nearly 200 years ago. So here it is.
Yeah, I guess I'll tell the others. The stew's gonna be ready soon. Do you want me to bring you some, or do you want to sit down with us?
I'm fine here.
Okay.
Should we tell the other guards?
I don't know yet. I haven't had a chance to get a real read on them. I don't know if they'll protect him or not. I don't know if they're hiding it or if he even knows that he has it.
So he has. It takes about a week for the green wound to disappear. But during that time, though, once you're infected, you feel an intense paranoia and you hide.
Oh, okay.
At least that's the belief, because as I'm rechecking my notes, there was scientific studies done on this by, you know, people that aren't really scientists. And whether or not you can fix it, no one really knows, because most people just kill them rather than, you know, because once they get the second stage where they can spread it so much easier, it's very dangerous to keep them.
He's not in that stage yet, though.
No, he's not in that stage where you guys are worried about, like, if he's spitting.
Okay.
At
Wow,
least-
so this incubation period is a dangerous time. Yikes.
But, so, okay, I'm going to let you guys role play it, and then I'll maybe toss out some more info here in a second. Or
yeah, I'm gonna
advice.
saunter over to no, I'm not gonna saunter. I'm gonna head over to Albrecht and Adelaide and say, can I talk to you two for a second? Yeah. I'll lead him off just like, not like so far that people are definitely like, oh, they're keeping something secret, but it's just like a, you know, I want to talk to just them, please. And I'll say, Rolf, Maithriel noticed that he has a green wound on his forearm that he has partially covered. I haven't been able to catch sight of it personally, but I think we need to be worried about more than just Felix.
While tending to his wound, have I noticed it green or not?
You're
Mike,
muted.
your mic.
Adam.
That's right. No, you haven't noticed. Sorry. You
So
haven't noticed.
it's not green.
But
Okay.
sometime soon, it should turn green if he is infected.
Okay.
It's usually within like the first day or two of being injured, because it's like
Once
when
he
it starts-
stops wanting to show us it, that's when we...
Yep.
Well, so far he seems okay.
I don't...
Don't eat the food.
Don't eat the
Yeah.
food?
Should have
But they're
known
not-
this.
What?
Stew.
They can't spread it yet.
Now that being said, as I tell you, as Ulrich will probably continue to warn, like that's what they say and that's what the scholars say, but also like, does anybody really know? Because, you know, all of this is based off of stuff that was studied about 100 years ago.
So it's just safe not to eat the
Yeah.
food.
Right. Let
Right.
me walk you through the reasoning here. So
Well,
we have one that will probably exhibit the green wound shortly. We have one that's already exhibiting the green. There's no way of telling if they're not all infected.
So here's your biggest fear. I would say if you guys have some sort of level of conscience to you, when you get to Rothsburg tomorrow and they vanish into the populace, that's the problem.
Rothsburg is...
It's not a
kaput.
very big town, but if you lose track
Yeah, but a
of them
whole
for
town of orcs is a
Yeah,
problem.
if you lose track of them for a day or two and they begin spreading,
Yeah.
you know.
No, I don't know if the other men-at-arms know, if they're covering for him, if he's told them, if they'll be upset if we tell them.
Well, and we don't really know anything about them, but if they're so afraid for Felix, wouldn't they be afraid for Rolf as well?
They might, but men in small, tight-knit groups like these, they react unpredictably. Sometimes they'll deny it. They'll get angry that we have accused him baselessly. He won't want to, from what I understand, he won't want to show it, right?
Well, it's not baselessly if Mathriel's seen it.
Well, we can confront him, which might not do bad things.
It's just not smart to bring either of them into a town if they are infected.
Well, no, of course not.
I want to know who else is infected. Perhaps we
Yeah,
should have
okay.
everyone remove all their clothing so that we all can inspect one another.
Okay, or
Oh,
no, hear me out.
Not us. Of course,
No.
we're not infected.
They won't believe us, and no,
Mhm.
there are things that I would like to not show to people that I don't know. There are things I would like to not show people that I do know.
I don't think he was talking about us.
You see the problem, though. If some random strangers show up and say, now we're all going to get naked and look at each other's bodies to inspect for green wounds, there might be some pushback, especially if we are
okay,
exempt.
but they were attacked. We weren't. If they've already got
Yeah.
one person they know who is hurt, then it unless they don't like him, then it doesn't seem like they'd be covering.
I think we should bring it up to at least Sven.
We could,
And,
of course, also
the third.
slip away.
What was his name?
I didn't give a name to the other guy, but there
Yeah.
was
The third, who's... I don't
You
remember
named
what
him
his name is.
Joffrey.
Oh, yeah,
there we
that's
go.
right, Joffrey.
That's right, we
Joffrey.
did. Joffrey.
Jeffrey. I mean, we could I can bring it up to them.
Ask.
Okay, you are friendlier than I am. I am okay with this.
I was going to suggest slipping away in the night and then simply reaching the town before they do and warning the town. But
Well, we can. Do you think we would... Do you feel well enough to run, or are you suggesting we steal one of the carts?
Warning the town means that we have to put faith that they'll believe us. And then what are they going to do? Just not allow them into the city?
Oh, no, they'll probably kill them.
Probably, yes.
Instead of killing all of them, then...
Let's at least
Or we
start.
could kill them here.
Let's start with broaching the subject about Rolf to Sven and Joffrey. Georg, whatever his name is.
So Adelaide will, I guess, walk back over and... Oh, wait, hold on, before she goes. To Lauren, should we maybe take them aside separately? Or does that look more suspicious?
The two... Sven and
Joffrey.
I mean, if they'll go, it might be a bit easier. He might get Rolf might get defensive.
Right.
The stinks of witch
separately,
hunt,
separately of each other.
Oh,
Like Joffrey, you take Joffrey and I'll take Sven. Or should we just ask them to come together?
they might. Well,
you know what,
I don't care about my reputation in this part of the country. Why not?
I like how we have to mention to the nun, like, sure, I'm sure they will totally think that's innocent.
Well, listen, I also had to explain to the wizard why we shouldn't all get naked, okay? Why I don't want everyone to get naked.
I was just being completely academic.
I know. And
The
it's
only
like,
solution is a complete inspection.
you're not wrong, however.
Okay, so Adelaide walks over and asks if Joffrey and Sven would, if she could have a word with them.
Sure. Adelaide, why don't you go ahead? You're gonna make you're gonna give me a charm check. Yeah.
Which is good because
Charm.
you're a lot friendlier than I am.
We'll
Charm?
be killing each other in like 10 minutes.
Do I have charm?
You do. It's on your it's on the next page. It'll be on your third page, top of the skills.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay. That is a 21.
There you go. All right. So
I'm very charming.
yeah, they're like, yeah, yes, sister, sure. So they'll kind of look at each other, and Rolf kind of squints a little bit, but seems to dismiss it because you have an innocent face and you look like a nun. So yeah, they'll kind of where are you leading them to?
Where are you leading off these two strange men?
Yeah.
Not far. Just like far enough, like out of Rolf's ear.
Gotcha.
Earshot.
Cool. Yeah.
Up to Lauren if she wants to also come with.
I'll tag along, sure.
Gotcha. All right. Although we're all reading into this situation, it seems like these two aren't. Like these two, especially, like you two, yeah. It's
Lauren is definitely reading to part of this of like they're gonna think we're gonna lead them off to go do things with them, but
but they actually seem to. That doesn't seem to be what they're suspecting. They seem like, yes, sister.
of course. What is it?
Yeah, Like they're more curious than they are suspicious and or horny. So you know, or they seem to get their yeah, you know.
I was gonna say something that was more along the lines of Sinners and Saints, and I'm not gonna. Anyway.
You want to see this cast. By the way, if you're watching, you want to see this cast of characters, at least 2 of them, a little bit more horny. You know, that's where you can see that one.
I've been a little. Season 2. Season 2. Yeah.
Season 2. Anyway, all right. Back on track.
So Adelaide asks, if Felix is infected, how would you go about that? How would you feel?
Well, I mean, so this is Sven. I mean, if he's, you know, I don't think anybody wants to turn into an orc. So I don't think there's any. I don't know if there's anyone. I mean, they say there's something you can get that can stop it, but I'm not sure if anyone in Rothsburg has it.
Did you 3 get into the altercation with the orcs, or did you come along later?
No, there were a couple of them, small little raiding party. We all at least traded blows with one or 2 of them. They didn't stick around. That's what.
And you're sure nobody else is injured?
Well, I wasn't hurt. Sven will say he'll look over at he'll look over at Joffrey. They get you? No, I was. He's like buckler and a sword, man. You know me.
Well, I'm very glad to hear that. Unfortunately, your friend Rolf was not as fortunate. Our friend Maithriel saw a green cut beneath his arm brace.
A green wound. It's.
So Joffrey's gonna go. So wait. Oh. Well, I guess we can just.
I'm not sure that he knows.
We wanted to talk to you because I don't know. He might have been. He might be angry, defensive.
He might feel that
violent.
We're accusing him, but if his friends bring it up, maybe it will.
Well,
we're concerned
Joffrey seems a little bit more uncomfortable with this, where Sven seems a little bit more like. I mean, we bring it up to him. I don't want anyone. I mean, if he's infected, you know, we need to know. It's better for everyone.
Our concern is.
Go ahead.
Our concern is when we do reach town that it spreads. And I do not want the condemnation of an entire town on my conscience.
And so Joffrey will kind of think of that as you know, it'll be easier to see in the morning. We could just do that then, like at night in front of the fire. Like, I mean, maybe your Elvi friend saw wrong, but we can, first thing in the morning, let's all do it. You know, just get it out there in the open. And we should have done that. Oh. We should have done that already. I mean, you've got...
Yes.
He kind of gestures over to Albrecht. I mean, you've got the Magi there. I mean, that's as close to a doctor as we're going to get out here.
Yes, and he did suggest doing a full body examination of everyone to ensure. But I don't know if everyone is comfortable with a full body examination.
Yeah, Joffrey will go... I mean, yeah, I can see that. But Sven will kind of like, no, I think... And why not? Right, yeah, let's just do it, and then everybody knows. And then if there's a problem, we'll know then, and we can address it. I think. Oh, hold on. He's gonna say, I gotta check my notes real quick, because I want to mention the right place. I actually have a ton written about this. I just don't remember how far south I am. I have all the major cities listed. Let's see here. Sorry, you guys. Gotcha, so it's not that one. So, I actually believe it is that one. There you go.
Just as I thought.
Yeah, you know, exactly.
It was that one, indeed.
I have 5 cities, and they're all kind of in the same place, and there's like the 3 main cities. There's one in the north, that's the port city, the capital city, and the furthest southern city, and I have 2 in the middle. So I was like, I had to find the one that was not this one. I had to find this one. I got good notes, but not that good here. So
You did the thing. You found it.
I do love always seeing when your like interpreting background comes through when you're
when
counting
I'm
out things.
Yeah, when I'm pronominalization. What is this pronominalization? This is ordinal numbers. Excuse me. Ordinal. Is that it? Listing. Excuse me.
What's the word for it? Listing.
This can be pronominalization for those of us who want our quick sign language lesson, because this could replace that, but not always. It's really a listing technique. All right. So Sven will get, well, you know, if there's anyone that can help him, it would be in Moonreich, which is just a little bit to the, let's see here, where am I? I'd say it's a little bit to the west. A little bit to the west. It's one of the bigger cities. They would probably have someone, if anyone can help them there.
Hopefully.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we know now, we can take him straight there.
Yeah.
You know. They say it takes a little bit, right? Like it's not just the next day. And Joffrey will be like, I don't know, I heard that. You know, he tells the stories like, you know, you heard about the Fool's Company. They all got wiped out, and one of their members, and I heard it was like that night. He stabbed them all, and they turned into, you know. And as you can tell, very rumor. You know, you don't know ghost story. You know. There were no survivors. Well, where did the story come from? Kind of.
We don't know how long. I don't know how long it will take for him to turn into an orc, but it has to be spread somehow. I don't know. Look. If he agrees to check it tonight, lovely. In the morning, better. Before that, we do need to check Felix. Otherwise, you know, we will need to take the both of them to town, to the city. And at that point,
wouldn't the whole party go?
We can.
So
Makes sense to split them up.
Alright, so let's let everybody eat. We'll do it first thing in the morning, first light.
Well,
we can see better.
If you insist, I think it would be best to check it tonight, but I'm not going to fight you.
Well, then we can also have it as, and it can look like, you know, then it's not just you guys accusing him. It can be something we all do.
All right.
Yeah, and Joffrey goes. So everyone returns back to camp, but everyone seems suddenly very leery of one another. Is there anything anyone else does tonight?
I will let Albrecht know. Yeah, we should set up a watch. I will let Albrecht know. You know, catch Albrecht and Maithriel up. We'll want to set up a watch. You know, even if it's just like everyone spends a couple of hours keeping watch while, you know, excluding Rolf and Felix. No, they don't get to keep watch. One is stabbed, the other one is sus.
So, your plan is to take one possibly 2 people with orc sickness. Let me get this right. Into a major city.
That's what they suggested. They said there might be a treatment for them there.
How delightfully bold.
There is rumors of a treatment for
Now,
orc sickness. There is
We could always
rumors,
keep them
but
on the
no
outside
one-
of the city. Yeah, sorry. They don't have to enter the city. We could leave them on the...
So tricky. Very, very
Well,
tricky.
Let's
Point is in
get
the morning.
a good night's rest. Hopefully.
And then in the morning, we'll probably all go through at least a cursory examination. They seem to like your idea.
Of course they did.
Alright. Betty bedtime.
Yep.
All right.
It is time
what
for
am-
the slips.
What I'm going to need from everyone is an awareness check.
Okay.
I'm going to spend a misfortune point.
My God.
Uh-oh. Wait, that gives us a fortune. That's good. That's
Yes. Yes.
good.
I'm unaware.
Awareness. Ooh, I am... Ooh, okay.
I got a
I wish we were
31 at that.
I almost wish we were playing Warhammer because that would have been a lot of degrees of a lot of steps of success, but I got an 4. I succeed.
Did anyone critically succeed or critically fail? Okay.
Normal failed.
The night will pass without incident. The first light will stretch out over the horizon, and the camp begins to move with the little bit of life that it has, as in there's only like 10 of you. But when you check one of the bedrolls, Joffrey and Rolf are missing.
Weren't people on watch?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Sven's still there.
Yeah, Sven's still there, yeah.
Yes. So then I guess during Joffrey's watch they left.
Well, so I rolled a stealth check for them,
Yeah.
and that's why I spent
Okay.
the misfortune point for them to get away.
Yeah.
To sneak off into the night. And that is where we will end it here tonight.
Oh, balls.
Ah!
As 2 men who at least one is you believe to have the orc sickness, has snuck off into the night. Where they are going, you don't know. If they arrive at Rotsburg before you do, perhaps they will tell the town that you may have the orc sickness, or who knows what have you, and all that business. So, maybe it would have just been better to kill them all. Who knows? That being said, I hope everyone had a good time tonight. You did escape the mine.
Yay!
Yes, and escaped
Yay!
one form of suspicious paranoia related on religion and food to another related to disease and death. So yeah,
Off of the pyre into the frying pan.
exactly, yeah, something like that. Yeah. All right. Well, I hope everyone had a good time, and I hope everyone had fun watching us. If you did have fun watching us, I'm going to tell you the simple ways you can help support the channel. One is, if this is Twitch, follow. That costs you nothing to follow us. If you're watching this on YouTube, liking and subscribing helps us a ton. If you're thinking of other ways to support us directly, or support the channel, subscribing is always good. We love it when you do that. Another thing you can do, if you don't know anything about Zweihander and you decided to stop in for whatever reason, picking up the Zweihander book is always a good idea. I love the book. It's massive. It's actually
Gorgeous.
For price,
It's really-
not too terribly bad for the amount that you get. You can get, I will say, I guess Grim and Perilous loves Andrew McNeil Publishing. They love selling this on sale. So pretty much any, like if you go to Drive Through RPG, anytime there's any sort of sale, you can pretty much guarantee that the core book or the Player's Guide, which the Player's Guide is pretty much, I think about half of this, because it just gets rid of the GM section and all the monsters. So it's like the first half of the book, how to play the game. They look for any reason they can to get that into your hands. So that's a fun way to, that and you actually get something. I mean, I'd love for you to like and subscribe and all that other business and pay money to the channel. That's really cool because it looks good for us. But if, the book sales go up, we'll go ahead and take credit for that too. So I hope everyone had a good time. We run every other week, so we will see you in 2 weeks from now. So see you guys then. Just take a look at everyone else. Check the chat real quick. Yeah.
See you
Got
the
core,
31st.
Coconut Clifford got the core book last week or 2 weeks ago. Thanks. Yeah, that's good. I really do like this system. So
Yes,
that being said,
I
guys,
really like how it's set up. It's good.
Yeah,
It's good
no.
layout.
So that being said, guys, we will see you in 2 weeks. Take care.
We love you.